All right. Let's see who isn't here at this point. So we're missing Commissioner Kale, Connie, we're missing Tom and Laura, but Laura is excused. 1, 2, 3. If Bob steps in, I believe that's a quorum or no? If he's instead of being an adjunct, he's our person today.
That means I can vote.
You're in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's official today, baby.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, Tara, Tom and Connie, we have not heard from, so those are unexcused at the moment. Let's see. David, do you want one of these packets here?
See you.
Do you want one of these packets?
Oh, I didn't know they were there.
There's a couple, yeah.
Yeah, there's one here and one there, so.
All right. The next order of business is to approve the June 6th, 2022 meeting minutes.
I looked at them and they seemed okay, some of them to approve.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor of approving the meeting minutes from June 6th, say aye. Aye. So moved. Do we have any citizen comments?
Nothing right now, no.
Okay, let's move on to staff report.
Give it a little. So trailer update on this loads. So Connie actually is here. She's on Zoom under a different name. So Connie's here.
Okay.
Thank you, Connie. So trail light update, obviously the project is under full construction. The project is still under the parking lot portion. Utilities, once utilities are finished, asphalt will start, and then phase 2 will start coming into play, looking around the first part of September for phase 2. Still, if you guys, for whatever reason, would like to actually walk the site, maybe while there is the rock wall, it's not the rock wall that I was envisioning. And maybe you guys all things were changing. But if you guys would like to walk the site to kind of see for maybe future projects, artwork, please let me know. That way I can schedule that with the contractor or the appropriate PPE that will be provided by you. No open-toed shoes, shorts are okay. But yeah, please just let me know. So that way we can.
Is that wall as high as it's gonna go?
As of right now, yes. Yeah,
That's gonna hold back all that dirt.
yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. Yeah, it's still in progress.
Looks good though.
Yeah, it's getting there. And then event update. So we obviously just finished with 4th of July, which was a great outing. Bob, if you have any comments you'd like to make about it, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, it went really, really well. We had a big crowd and I'm always amazed how many people show up. Just as the band is starting to play, and then from that point all the way till the start of the fireworks, people just kept coming and coming. And the Kiwanis had a very good day. I think gross was over $3,000. So that, that's a good day for us. And, the band played really, it's always a good band to have. And people, appreciate that, and the kind of music they play, it just gets people off beat. And so my overall assessment is that it went very, very well.
Yeah, I agree.
And it, one of the things that makes it successful is the park staff. They do all the work, you know, and they put things away, and so, you know, I know I always harp on that, but I can't say enough for what they do.
Thanks, Bob. Well, I will say, being on the park staff side, also can't be done without the help of citizens like you, bringing in the events and coordinating with us. I mean, it's not just the park staff that puts it on, it's coordination with all the volunteers, with Kiwanis, everyone else. So we enjoy doing it, and hopefully we can continue doing so. So we do have other events coming up. Touch Truck coming up this Friday at Orchard Park. First time it's going to be at Orchard Park. We've always done it at Town Square with a little break with COVID the last 2 years. We're very excited to be able to expand and do it at Orchard Park. Bringing in some other entertainment that we haven't been able to in the past. Some bounce castles, a bubble machine is supposed to blow. It's just do like 15,000 bubbles every 5 minutes, just randomly. So the kids would like that. Event that's catered to the kids. We have a company coming in that's going to lift a semi truck off the ground. Our local police department, Fairview Car, Waste Management. We tried getting a helicopter, but as of right now, it's kind of a little too late. Multiple donations that came in with water, otter pops, playing some kid-friendly, family-friendly music throughout the event. So staff's looking forward to bringing it back because they really enjoy being able to know the equipment, the size of the equipment, and then have kids come up and take pictures with it. Well, I've had kids, so they bring their own, but if you don't, you still, it's pretty cool seeing young kids climb up and get a picture on the equipment. A new thing that we are adding this year is naming of city plow equipment. So kids are going to be able to actually sign the actual snowplow blades. We have Sharpies, so they'll be able to go out and just put their name, picture, signature, parents, whoever, if they want to come out, put something on the snowplow blade. However, it may last throughout the season, obviously with the wear. And then an idea that came up was naming each piece of equipment. So our 4 main pieces of snowplow equipment for the streets is shown here. So on the far left, this is the road grader. It's by far the largest one. And then our 2 loaders on the side, and then our truck. So 4 pieces of equipment. We are going to have little boxes with pictures of each piece of equipment, and kids, citizens, whoever, if they want to make a name suggestion for each piece of equipment, that we will carry through the 2023 season, we'll accept those. And then we're also going to accept some either or for kids to actually pull out and name those pieces of equipment. So we'll accept all the names into a donation box for each piece of equipment. And then from there, somebody will put their name in to be drawn to accept and pull the name for that permanent name just throughout the season. And it's not a permanent name for forever. It's just for the upcoming season, kind of something that we saw Washington State Department of Transportation did with their equipment. So a fun way to let kids and families and citizens get involved and have their name somehow listed on a piece of snowplow equipment. So excited for that. Barefoot in the Park is the next event coming up. And this was kind of a late addition that was added that Jen found. So graffiti barrel garbage cans. So this would be an ask of the commission today to approve the purchase of these garbage cans for Barefoot in the Park and the paint. So however much you guys would like to vote upon. I will tell you that upon pricing barrels today and last week, roughly $300 to $350 per barrel. And that is just a plain barrel. So then it would still be paint. But I would say the primer to prime the barrels and then just offer the paint and the paint materials, whatever it may be at Barefoot. This is not something that, this is just was brought up if you as a commission would like to add this to Barefoot in the Park, but it would be funded from Parks and Arts Commission.
So we would buy the cans, so would city crews prime them?
We city crews,
Because they need to be
so
primed.
in the past, we did not. When the cans at Orchard Park were done, those were not done by city staff. So I would. follow suit.
Volunteers need to prime.
Bridget Harris, and I'm not, I think she did get volunteers to do that back when we were doing them before. I guess my question is, do we have money in the beautification budget for that?
Yes.
Okay.
So as of right now, and we'll get to the other item is the wraps. And then, the donation plaque for the Relay Together parties. Those are the only two that are spoken for, I would say, as of right now for the 2022 budget. So this is me doing research. If you guys choose to go forward with doing these at Barefoot in the Park, I would suggest 3,000. So up to not to exceed 3,000 for Barefoot in the Park.
And just so I'm clear, then people at the event, kids or whatever, will paint something on that.
Yes.
So will these just be used as additional cans for events, or are these gonna be placed somewhere after Barefoot? What's the plan for
I
them?
would say that would be up to you guys, because it would be coming out of the Parks and Arts Commission fund. So it would be up to the Parks and Arts Commission to, I guess, commission this as a community art piece in a way.
Yeah.
At Barefoot in the Park. If you would like to put themes to it, if you'd like to make it dedicated to Barefoot in the Park. Whatever you would like to do, these are funds that would come out of the budget from Parks and Arts Commission. I will tell you that it can't wait until the next meeting, August 1st.
Right,
With supply, for us to be able to order it and have it in time would have to be approved today, but this is something that was brought up last minute.
Well, if we did do it and then the cans were displayed at whatever park, maybe spread them out, but one in each park or two in each park or whatever. Then could we, in fact, since we've already invested in the barrels, then make it an annual event? And then next year reprime the same? So it would be a 1-year art piece kind of thing? So if it's too crazy, then, it gets redone the next year.
So it's kind of similar to what the plan is for naming the snowplow equipment is.
Yeah.
Do it each year, have kids, families put in their input and rename each year. So if you'd like to set these aside, these 3, 4, 5, 6, however many barrels you would like to purchase, set these aside at Barefoot or even at Touch a Trail. And Jandy Humble, library director even mentioned possibly doing this at a library event. Jandy, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, guys.
hi,
So Jandy, if you can kind of explain to them your idea of if it doesn't work at Touch a Track or Barefoot, possibly working this into an event at the library.
Yeah, I was talking with Michaela. She's our teen and adult librarian. An idea we had was to have it as like a teen event or tweens, ages 10 and up or 12 and up, and having them break into groups of maybe like 4. And then they would come up with their own design for their barrel and work on it all together as a team. So this is something we could do as like a fall event. We didn't really want to do it in the winter because we thought it would work better outside, but maybe something we could do in August or September of this year or something, if we wanted to wait for next summer, it's something we could definitely do next summer also. But we thought it would be just kind of a fun teen collaborating fun art activity. Arguably, you could also do it with adults.
I love that idea. Would you be interested if it was just an annual thing? And so in a year, those would be reprimed and then it would be done again by, say, a different group?
That thought hadn't occurred to me at all, but yeah, that's something we could make an annual thing.
So art project, the can would be used in a city park or the library or whatever for a year, and then it would be redone by another group.
Yeah, I think as long as we got really good attendance, I would just say, like if for some reason nobody showed up, which I don't think would happen. But yeah, I think that would be a fun, creative art thing that the people could do. So
I think it better than necessarily doing it at a Barefoot or something, just because I think it could be more directed and it could be a little more artistic rather than people just flat paint on it or, whatever. So I like the idea of you guys coming up with an event to do them if we purchase them.
And the more I thought about it, since we talked by email, I thought it would be great if we had more of an artistic approach rather than a graffiti approach. Because the ones in the example are clearly art and not graffiti. And I think if we'll get a better looking item and out if we do it, Jenny, with what you're suggesting.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to help you with that.
I completely agree. I love the idea of where it be a focused art project versus people randomly coming by with.
Yeah.
The good
and if
thing
needed, we
too
could do
is-
it over a few weeks. I don't know how detailed the kids would want to be. If it might be, the first time they kind of come up with the design and maybe tape stuff out or mark it up on the barrel, and then the following week they paint it, or so we could even do that if we felt like we needed more time.
It would seem to me too, that if you did it that way, the barrels would be available to show in the parks. Any place around the city, and so I think that because you're creating really pieces of art, then
Maybe
it'd be
somewhere-
nice that, the Parks Department could haul those around in any
Yeah,
place. And
Either
then-
that town square, at the farmer's market, different
Yeah,
places.
exactly.
People could enjoy them, yeah, sure.
I'd like to make a motion that we defer using the barrel art project. Defer it from Barefoot and move that to a project with Jenny and her ideas there. I think it needs to be a little more formal than that, but I think that's what we're all talking about.
Do we want to add an amount to the project?
I just had a question real quick, if I may. Do you have any sense of how many kids might be interested? So for a first look, a first event, how many barrels you might need?
I'm not quite sure. I might have to ask Michaela about that. We've just got our new teen and adult librarian starting in April. So our teen programs are something that we're definitely rebuilding right now. So I think we would probably do this for like ages 10 and up. But I'm not sure if we would like maybe 20, 25. So if you think about it, we would just have to figure out, I'd like to work with her and figure out how many kids we'd want to do to a barrel. But I think if you guys could just approve, like Trevor was saying, like up to a certain amount, then I can coordinate with her with how many barrels we would want to do. And the popularity of the event, because maybe if we don't get as many kids as we want, we can run it again in a few months also.
How many barrels do we typically have at events at Pavilion? You know, off the top of your head?
So barrels and then the actual mounted garbage cans. We have 4 mounted garbage cans between parking lot and Settler. And then we will put 3 or 4 down on the lower area between the stage, concession stand. And if we know it's going to be a large event where the 4th of July, where there's going to be golf carts up top, then we'll add another 4 or 5. That is a normal amount that we keep in parks, so that wouldn't be having to add any, that would just be an additional, but maybe, as Bob said, one per park. But you could also bring it to each park during an event, maybe a dedicated per park, town square, for farmers market. So it's not, I don't think it's a matter of having enough per event. I think if you're talking about doing enough that those are the only cans you see at a large event, it's gonna be too much.
Yeah,
I think just a few, in my opinion, from the maintenance standpoint, being on site, changing trash, and then also just overseeing it, I would say just a couple that just stand out, in my opinion. Something that you can dedicate to each park, but then move around throughout Tawana's movies, Symphony, Barefoot in the Park.
when you looked at the budget, you felt like 6 was reasonable as a starter? Is that what you were saying earlier?
I was suggesting 3,000.
How many barrels is that?
So right now,
Get 6 barrels for $1,800.
it's $300 to $350 per barrel right now.
Do we know how much it cost with the paint the last time we did a project like this? Do you have any idea? No,
Do not
I think we
know.
got it donated. Tom Chamberlain, I think that's something to do
Yeah,
with
I'm
that.
not sure on the paint.
Okay.
I minimal compared to the price of the barrels.
Well, if we did up to 6 barrels, let's say that's a couple $1,000, and you know, I think we got plenty of room. Or maybe we just do 4 this time, and if we do it again, we add more, 2 to 3 or 4 more the following year or something. Rather than, I mean, obviously, we don't ever run out of space for barrels, but if we did it the following year and added 2 more, I think that would be a great idea as well.
If we have the 3, I'd be good with the 6, because she's talking about maybe 25 in this age group, and if you do 4 to a barrel, that's, yeah. 5 to a barrel, that's,
Yeah,
so I would do the 6, I think.
Yeah, I wrote down 6 as an
Yeah.
idea. We don't always have to use them. We could rotate them at movies, at bigger holidays.
But if the art's gonna only be there for a year, I'd say use the heck out of them and then redo.
Also too, are the barrels out during Halloween in the parks?
Yeah, the barrels are out here around.
So, you know, they could even do a couple of themed ones for the seasons that we could rotate in, you know, maybe not this go round, but maybe they did one, a Halloween one and maybe a Valentine's Day one, and that way that one could be put in a park as a theme, and those could be rotated, and then the other ones can always be where they are, you know, just a traditional art piece. So if I can amend my motion, and we can discuss it, obviously, is that we look at up to 6 barrels utilizing up to a $3,000 beautification line item budget. The spending no more than $3,000. If we even get close to that.
And is that spending up to 3,000 on the barrels alone
And the paint.
without, and the paint?
Yeah, I think that really fund it.
Do you think 3,000 will be enough to get paint supplies too, Trevor?
Yeah, with the barrels, I think that's gonna be plenty to get
Okay.
the. And then you can, between Jandy and the Parks Commission, see how it goes this year, and if you guys would like to adjust, and it becomes kind of a theme, like we're trying to do with the naming of the snowplow equipment, you can adjust accordingly for the coming years budget wise.
Second.
Second, so, any discussion, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving up to $3,000 and 6 barrels for a project at the library? Say aye.
Fine.
Okay.
Jenny, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you when we get close to that time.
Okay, that sounds great. And I'm kind of thinking, after we finish the project, either myself or Michaela will come and like, you know, show you guys a bunch of photos and update you on how it went and if there was anything we think we'd need to adjust for next time. So then you guys can see all of your handiwork in action, I guess.
And Jandy and commissioners, I urge you guys to reach out to myself or Jen if it comes to that point for purchasing of the barrels. We have city accounts set up with industrial companies that sell these. Where we can look and research, get the best price. I have seen them up to $550 each for a plain barrel, but with our city account, I have seen them down to the $350 range. So
These are empty at that point.
these are not, these are non-used empty barrels.
And not fine.
And,
So Trevor, will you either get us information on where to look or what do we need to do?
So I can send you links to where we do already have accounts within the city
Okay,
to purchase. If you guys find other options, let me know. But we do have many options where we already purchase industrial commercial equipment that carry these barrels that I've done research from. So I can send you guys those links. If you find anything else, please send them my way. That way we can get the best deal on these barrels for you guys.
and then as far as, do we have to get any approval from council for this? If it's under our beautification, over 1,000.
Yeah. So this falls under the financial policy of purchasing. So over $1,000.
Are we able to get that in at the next council meeting? The one that I'm already gonna be doing the.
So I have to have it. I have to have it in available.
You have to have the quote and everything ready to go. Okay, so we're not there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, it's definitely possible, but it's a stretch. You have until, I mean, for me to actually get it, then you have until Wednesday by 9 or 10 a.m. to where I can get it added.
That's pretty close. I don't keep track of that. Okay.
And then.
Just trying to get the
prices-
most bang for my buck when I'm gonna be up the council.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it seems like they may not do the group until fall when school's back
Yeah.
on, is that correct?
Jenny, are we thinking like, we're thinking fall time, when school's back in and,
I have to coordinate with Michaela, but I was thinking in September.
Okay.
Probably mid-September.
Perfect.
After school starts. The first little bit of September, our programs don't do very well because everyone's just trying to get their kids ready for school. So I'd probably think like the September 19th, September 26th, those like last few weeks of September would be when we want to do it.
so we have time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we, whether it's myself or Jen, the next council meeting, or sorry, the next commission meeting, working on you guys getting your budgets and strategic plan ready for the coming years. So that'll give you a better idea of where you guys are sitting as of right now, with the wraps possibly being approved and going forward with that. That'll give you a better idea of what you have left for the barrels, for the paint, and then any other projects this year in 2022.
Okay.
So moving on from the barrels is the rock painting at Barefoot Park. A lot easier, more of a simple. We did it in 2019. It was a huge hit. Jen and I discussed it. It would just be a addition to the event, just asking if there would be any commissioners that would be willing to attend to kind of station the booth on August 6th at Pavilion Park. If not, city staff would be, and we really don't have to do very much. It's a rock and you paint it. It's just, people don't really know. So I'm sure they would love to see a commissioner at the event. David. Right now, it's 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 10 p.m.
But we just did it for like when we could be there, so it was kind of more like the middle of the day. And the only problem we had was we had like the spray that we sprayed on the rocks after you put it on, and the guy that was beside us was really upset about the spray.
And he won't be there this
Oh,
year. Who
that
knows?
guy.
So,
He was so mad at us, and I was like, look, I can't help the wind, man. I'm trying my best to keep it away from your truck, but he was really upset with us. So that was the only thing that went badly as far as the rocks.
Commissioner Tom, how much time did we spend on that? You remember a couple of years ago during Barefoot?
I was there with him. I think we were there from like, I want to say we were there from like noon to 3 or something like that. It was just like a chunk of time. Yeah, we had stuff out there and I can be available to do.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have to be there for
Yeah.
the entire time for the event. Maybe just say that Parks and Arts Commission is bringing this event, this craft to Barefoot in the Park. They will be there between 12 and 1, but we just keep the rocks out, the paint optional,
Yeah.
people as they come and go. But if you guys would like to, I guess in a way sponsor or be a part of the event, to let me know, let Jen know if there are going to be commissioners that want to attend, so that way we can make sure we look for you guys. Otherwise, we'll just leave it out as just a free, part of the free,
We still have-
yes, we do, yeah. Yeah, but
I
then,
can be there for part.
And I think it's a nice kind of marketing kind of thing for us. So if we can be there and, I don't know if we can put anything together, I'll see what I can do, but just showing off some of the stuff that we've done. I just don't think a lot of the community members, it's just a nice little marketing for
Yeah,
us.
we had a little display board with some of the pictures of like the rafts and the
Yeah,
sculpture and some of the other stuff.
just.
so that would, yeah, I mean, that's something that I've discussed with Jen and Heidi as we go to high school and middle school for career day, is having some sort of poster board, something that can be reused and presented. That would obviously come out of the Parks and Arts Fund, but if you guys would like to maybe look into something that could be posted on an A-frame board, a banner, something of the sort for future events.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, the Kiwanis, it's a long day for them, so I'll be around, so spending an hour there wouldn't be a big issue for me. Before we go away from it, I want a point on Barefoot. Right now, they have more than 120 cars coming to the car show.
Oh, my.
And one of the things that makes the relate for the Barefoot car, because the Kiwanis give each car a plaque. So many times they just get a piece of paper. And so it's amazing how many cars out there want a plaque. And so they show up. So it's going to be a big deal.
I
Yeah.
don't mind researching the display board a little bit, because I have some ideas from when I was at Scraps. We had some portable thing we take to school and different events. And goes in a little case and then you can change the pictures. You just put Velcro on the back of laminated pictures, so you can
Great idea.
change it out.
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, if we got something like that, the city could use it for other reasons too. I mean, it could
We
be a
get plenty
very.
of pictures.
It could be at the farmer's market, it could be.
Exactly. It could be a
That would be
city
great.
booth there.
Yeah.
They can be, maybe the city.
Do we have excuse me, I'm sorry. Do we have a banner? The Parks and Arts Commission banner?
I've never seen a banner. I don't know of one.
No, I don't think so.
Or t-shirt.
Yeah.
Be nice to have even a small one, like half the width of that table, just to go on, that we could just tie or attach on any time. If we plan to do more of these things, but would you mind checking into a price of the banner?
No, I don't have a problem with that at all. Would we just want to say, City of Liberty Lake Parks and Arts Commission with that, like the
That's
city logo on it?
Perfect. Yeah, it doesn't even really have to have a logo. If it can keep it one color with like black and white or blue and white or
Yeah,
green.
blue and white would be nice.
Yeah. And then we could use it for any future events.
Well, I think that's a good way, getting recognition because we don't have,
Yeah.
at our event. So that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I'll look for something. It might be hard to get a display thing this quickly. I'll have to see. We might have to make something temporary until we can get something proper. I don't know what if they have anything local, I ordered stuff online.
I would reach out to Screen Tech, who's here locally. Yeah, it's like, yeah,
What's the company here that the city uses?
we use Screen Tech a lot.
Mountain dog
Mountain.
signs.
No, dog, they used to be down off the trailer, then I think they're up off the division.
Where's Screen Tech at?
Screen Tech's on Applewood.
It's on Apple.
Oh, I seen it over by the,
I'll send you my contact, Emily. I'll send you my contact with.
yeah, I'll
Screen Tech.
go over there. I think I also them with 3 days in a row. I could even go over there tomorrow if you send it to me.
So there maybe something like, I said, if you might half the width of that table and like 12, 18 inches.
So I've got 6 foot man or 4 foot 6. Yeah. A lot of those portable tables that you take those small ones are 6 foot. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I would just keep in mind that the mayor and city council are looking into, don't want to call it rebranding, but redesign of the city logo. I've been working on some signage currently. So what I have requested is enough room to put a logo down the road and just put the language onto a sign, but to where it can, if there is in fact a new logo that's going to be added, don't add it right now, the current one, remove it and put a new one. That's just what I would recommend. That's what I've been doing for some of the banners for operations and maintenance.
Can they add?
Yes. And my contact with Screen Tech, Emily, she'll let you. She knows that we're in that process, so she'll work with you.
Now, this is not gonna be a huge, what's the limit on getting council? 1,000. Okay.
Yeah. And we could do it as 2 separate things, depending on. Correct.
All right.
So.
If we want to get something for Barefoot, that which our next meeting is like at that time, can I send you the information and you can send it out to everyone? Or, I mean, would we have to vote on something?
So you wouldn't have enough time by the next meeting on August 1st for approval for it to be made and ready by August 6th, so you can make a motion and don't exceed and ask to not exceed $9,000 or $999.99 for a banner for Parks and Arts Commission.
A
So you can
banner
make-
and a display board.
So you can make a motion today, vote and approve it. And if it is approved, then move forward to where you have enough time to make it available for the Barefoot event on August 6th, because you won't have enough time if you wait till August 1st, Parks and Arts Commission.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I wouldn't have anyone here. So if we make this motion, then when I find a product I like, especially for the display board, the banner. I mean, I think City of Liberty Lake and smaller and then bigger Parks and Arts Commission. And potentially a space for a logo. But on the display board, if I find a couple or 3 choices that I think are good, I know I'm not supposed to email everybody because I was bad and did that one.
But Trevor can.
But you can, I can send it to you because I would want other eyes on it.
And we do have, we call them our plastic A-frames. We work with Bob quite a bit on
Yeah,
Symphony, 4th of July. They're interchangeable slides that go on those white plastic A-frames.
You mean those things that like sit on the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, I was not thinking of any. I was thinking about something that went on a table in the booth.
So by.
Yeah.
Like
The A-frame is way down there on the ground.
Yeah, like-
People stand there.
those poster board things.
Yep,
that
yep, it's
open
a
up.
free sign, it's bigger and it's way.
It sits on the tabletop.
Yes, so the tabletop, it folds, it goes to a little case, it's super, you carry it around, you put the Velcro stuff on it.
Yep,
You
that's
change
what
it
I'm
around.
thinking.
Yeah, that's fun.
We can put our pictures of our different projects. in
Yes,
yeah, there are enough tables in the storage area and also those A-frames. So whichever way you go, we always have something that is usable.
yeah, because if you get any kind of crowds, nobody sees the A-frame, it's covered, and we want something, we're having our own booth, right?
Mhm.
We could have the painting in the front and we could have the table at the back of the booth with a display thing or over to the side or
Yeah.
wherever. the feng shui.
That's what I envisioned.
Okay.
The tiny.
That's what I'm going to research, that and the band. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, I say we make a motion to spend up to $999 for both of those items.
Display board and a banner.
To use at future events, yes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of doing that? Okay, approved. Nice. All right, Trevor, we still need to talk Rotary Trailhead.
Dave had emailed Tom Chamberlain. I didn't see a response.
I didn't get a response,
Okay.
but I'll just address it. So, the Rotary Club, which I'm a member of that, the Liberty Lake Rotary Club. The Rotary Foundation has a certain amount of money that we can set aside for producing a piece of art. And so just is very early preliminary talks, but I would like to work out something where Rotary, in conjunction with Parks and Arts, can do a piece that would either welcome visitors to the new clubhouse and also work along the lines of Rotary's their worldwide missions, like something to supply water to the world. And so some type of water feature. So again, in the very early stages, but I think with the foundation's money, I was surprised to hear that they have quite an amount for that, and I think Tom can address it more. But I will have more information in our August meeting, hopefully, for that.
So David, is this on top of the, because I saw that they had donated the 50,000 for the audio visual package. So this is in addition to that, this is
Yep.
specifically for an art.
Right.
At that location. Okay, awesome. Can't wait to hear more.
We get that sponsorship money, it'd be even better, right?
And I'll just let you commissioners know, me being on the design and construction team, that it is ever changing daily, weekly on the project, which is kind of why it was chosen to just move forward status quo with the Rotary donating their funds and appropriating them as they are currently. The building's not going anywhere. The rock wall's not going anywhere, so it's going to give Parks and Arts Commission and Rotary plenty of time to come up with and actually plan for an art piece to go in. So not saying that it's not that the city and the design was pushing Parks and Arts out by any means. It's just that we're it's in progress, and obviously there are plenty of opportunities down the road to address any art pieces at the new trailer. So
I think it's easier to visualize once the project is more formed or even done than to see where the signature piece would be at.
I agree. Okay. Moving on to action items, discussions and presentations. We have our Hooptown USA project. It's like just an updated budget. Any other?
No, just the updated budget. I took the old budget and kind of cleaned it up a little bit and sent it over to Trevor. He took a look at it, and we're both pretty comfortable with this as far as what we would be asking.
Okay. Nice, I think that's fair and something that we could definitely put on the budget for 2023.
And so while the city is working on budgets, I would recommend by August, the August meeting, a conversation within the Parks and Arts Commission for some sort of theme or a discussion that there would be a theme for this art piece, and presenting your budget by September to include with this. The city council would like to know it's a Hooptown USA project, a mural, what is entailed in this. So I would keep in mind that you should have something available to present within this budget number for 2023 for Hooptown project when it comes to, doesn't have to be the full design.
Right.
And this is what we need, this is what we want, but just knowing that you guys have an idea, this is your plan, you're gonna follow or just what you guys plan.
And I have a local artist who's working on some themes, so I'm hoping by next meeting she'll have something to give us some ideas, maybe spark whether or not, you know, we love these ideas or what, you know, if we want to put a call to artists out or if we want to consider using her, but she's coming with some ideas to help just because it's just so hard for us to know what to do. And so I kind of gave her some history on the park and kind of how it's themed currently. She lives here in Liberty Lake, so she obviously knows, but hopefully she's gonna come up with some good ideas for us.
Yeah, and I know that, you know, theming the theme of the park and all that, but maybe she could also consider going down a road of like building community because, you know, it's something Liberty Lake is offering and building up the health and camaraderie and team spirit of our youth and because it is a sports sport. So, sports sport to be themed with, you know, old time historical Liberty Lake.
I don't think that's even
Okay.
part of a theme. I was trying to give her an idea of kind of how things are there, but no, I don't think she's thinking that at all. I think she's thinking way more artistic and
I was thinking something like building community because people are gathering, they're exercising, they're learning, they're growing together, which is, you know, stronger together. The whole.
Yep. Right.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, hopefully she'll have some cool things for us.
It's nice to have someone with creative flow.
I know, she's pretty amazing, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah. And then let's see, oh, so utility box, I've got a bunch of stuff for you guys. So finally, CW Rocks, I was wishing that they would have given us our art proofs a little more like they did last year, but you can see a little bit of them in the boxes. So it's laid out flat. But basically that's how they would wrap around. It's all of the ones that we kind of had chosen. And they're on all sides of all boxes. So that's the one box at Ridgeline. And then this is the one that for some reason they didn't do it on the picture there. They've been kind of, must just be in their, they're always in their busy season, right, when we're trying to do this every. But that's the big box and the small box. This one's a little more straightforward. It's literally just gonna, you know, wrap around having those two big ends or the big sides. So those are both of those for our approval. I sent them to STCU. They love them. They're good with it. And then I have the quotes.
Can you tap back to the original one? That's kind of cool how they took those and did that.
Yeah, so it's kind of bummer you can't see the other two sides of it, but
Yeah.
the only thing I really tried to do was, you know, the ones that were really narrow, like the flower one and the cat one, I wanted on the end, and then I tried to have them lay them so that the colors, you know, matched.
I think it looks great.
But I think it's gonna be neat. Yeah, from every end, you're gonna see something cool, so I think it turned out well. And then the quote came back for both of them. Little more, but STCU is gonna pay them directly, so it was the, about 1,800 per wrap. So 37.29, and they've already filled out their donation form to us for that amount, and they will pay them directly. So all I need to do is have council approve that donation at the next council meeting. Perfect. And then we're ready to go. So what I would just need from you guys today is just that an A-OK on the art and an A-OK on the quotes, and we'll move forward. So yes.
Yeah, can you motion?
So I think, can I do them as, do I need to do them separate, the money and the Art.
As long as you include both in the same donation as a Parks and Rec donation from STC.
Yes, which that's how it is on that form. So, yeah, so I would like to make a motion to approve both the Ridgeline and Harvard Road utility box artwork and the quote for $3,729 for those.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion needed? All in favor of approving that, say aye.
Thank you, we're doing that for that really nice.
Yeah, it was kind of like pulling teeth, you know, these folks that are not the most responsive, but I'm glad we got it done and with plenty of time to, usually once we get approvals, so after this council meeting, they are ready to print, so they'll print them and install them, so we should have them here. Probably by August would be my guess.
Yeah, and so I will make sure to add it to the council meeting next Tuesday
Okay.
for approval as a donation.
Yep, I'll give a commission report and kind of go through what we've been talking about, and then I will direct that we have something for their approval. See if they have any questions for me before they get to that item later in the meeting, so.
And then just one last thing that kind of came up last minute
Yeah.
from Laura is the plaque for the Liberty Lake Together art piece at Rocky Hill. For, I know you guys already approved up to the $999.99. Just one last approval of the proof of what it will look like. So that is kind of the bronze of what it'll look like. This is more, so you can see the verbiage of it. So it would be just you guys approving the final approval purchase for this plaque.
So the dimensions of this, roughly. Sheet of paper.
I think maybe not even that big.
I think,
Probably something like that.
yeah,
Small square one. that you
Yeah.
see.
Mhm.
enough to where it's my understanding from Laura, enough to where the Liberty Lake Together logo and the verbiage is not going to be kind of really condensed and you're not going to be able to read it, but not big enough to where it's just a target for somebody to kick it off
Right.
and vandalize it.
Right. That's good.
So we need a motion to approve this today.
Sorry, so 10 inches wide by 8 inches high.
Okay.
You're shy.
And then did she give us did she get actual numbers for us? It was under, right?
$681 plus tax. So still falls within what you guys already approved.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. All right, so motion to approve the Rowing Together plaque verbiage.
I so move that we approve the plaques as presented.
Second.
All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
It's approved. We got a lot done today. I'm feeling like we need to put ourselves in the back. All right, is there anything else we need to
First meeting, first of August is our next.
First of August. I am definitely gone, but that does not mean that we don't need to have it. I might be able to attend on Zoom.
And just a reminder that you guys did approve to move the September meeting to the 12th because
Yes.
of Labor Day. So September has already been approved and scheduled for September 12th.
Okay, as long as everyone else is good with the August 1st meeting, I'll try to.
I'll make it.
Okay. Dave, would you be able to
Yeah,
lead that meeting?
as of right now, I'm here, so Mondays are usually pretty good for me.
Okay, and then I can probably be on it, but I don't want to have to lead it from. Zoom.
Chambers.
That should be hard.
Do it here.
Oh, I just remembered something. I think it was in the Splash in reoccurring events. They have us meeting the 1st and 3rd.
We- yeah,
I
we
saw
used-
that too.
So we used to meet the 1st and the 3rd, and we've gone to monthly meetings.
So I just didn't want.
I'll
to
reach out, I can reach out to the Splash.
Okay,
I think I'm good with us just doing our monthly meetings. I think it's worked out okay.
well, if we have an extra project, we can always call an extra meeting,
At a
right?
meeting, you can make a motion to add one. if you
Yeah.
would Like,
That's what I would. vote.
Okay, yeah, so
So stay
we'll
monthly.
just, yeah, we can just.
Okay.
let the Splash know.
no different than what you guys did for the Kramer overpass. You
Yes,
chose to hold a special a workshop
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
the Kramer Parkway. So you can add one.
okay,
Yeah, and that may be something we want to do, depending on the schedule for when we're deciding on the hoop town stuff, because that might take longer.
yeah, so, really quick, for my, update to council. Do you want me to mention anything about Hoop Town? What mean,
Trevor, when are they going to see it on the budget?
Probably by September,
yeah,
but I would recommend doing an update in August. That the Parks and Arts Commission has a project coming up in 2023. We don't have to get into a lot of detail.
right, then
but-
maybe we'll have a theme or, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do that then, and I will.
And we can have a few pictures, because I think the
Yeah.
visual and then they were really interested in the partnerships, and we can stress that, maybe we can come up with something.
And I did talk with someone who said potentially we may have a sponsor. There's a friend of ours who's pretty high exec at Pepsi. And her family lives and breathes basketball here in Liberty Lake. And so I thought, well, that might be a really nice partnership both for them and for us. I'm going to talk with her about that and see. So maybe if I can get some information to them.
Yeah, I was, thinking about trying to get some sponsors at some point, but I think it would, for me, I mean, you have a connection, so please move ahead, because that'd be great, if you didn't have to worry about it, but once we know more about the theme, then you have more of a product to sell,
Yeah.
so I was kind of waiting.
Yeah,
For
and
that.
she's really good friends with her, so I was hoping as we see what comes down the line as far as what she's thinking, we can maybe meet with her and just say, what do you think? Is this something Pepsi might be interested in? So,
Let me know.
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll just mostly mention our plaque, the utility wraps, and our barrels perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
And be good with that, yeah. I'm good. All right, well, if there's nothing further to discuss, then we can be adjourned.
Good deal.
Okay, meeting adjourned, maybe 4:59.
When